Good evening, geographers on YouTube. Good to see you for tonight's GCSE AQA Geography Revision. How are you feeling? Hopefully you're feeling pretty good and getting excited for this summer's examinations. I've changed my camera actually. It might look a little bit different because I've changed my camera that I'm using tonight. But we'll see how we get on. Right, who's in the chat? Hit us up. Who's here to say hello and to some revision? Live revision tonight is based on question 2 for AQA GCSE Geography Paper 1. Hot deserts. We're going to get all into our revision tonight with some hot desert revision. So hopefully you're feeling good for this one. We're going to cover plants and animals. That's one thing we're going to look at. Plants and animals, impacts of water insecurity, and the Thar Desert. Thar Desert is going to be a big one. Hello to our moderator. Thanks for joining us. And thank you for helping us out today, our moderator. Appreciate everything you do for us in geography. We've also got Fred in the chat as well. Good to see you, Fred. Yeah, thank you for joining us again. You're always on our live streams as well. And we've got Sophie as well. Good to see you, Sophie. Using James's YouTube, I can see as well, which is very good. Thank you for joining us and dropping in for this evening's revision / entertainment / quiz, all that sort of stuff that's going on tonight. So make sure you've got your revision equipment ready. Let me just find, here we go. There we go. So make sure you got all your revision equipment ready, all that good stuff. Highlighters, coloured pencils, revision guide, revision notepad, all those sort of things. It's going to be a slightly shorter YouTube video, I think, today as well. We're just going to focus on a couple of bits and bobs because I know my geographers have been very busy with their exams. They've got lots of exams on at the moment. So I'm not going to keep you for too long procrastinating my English literature revision by doing my revision for a subject I didn't pick. Fair enough, Amelia. I love that. Thanks. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for saying hello. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. This will get you through your English revision. Yeah? Just have it on in the background playing, and then you can do the quiz at the end. Interesting choice. Very good. Right, so we're going to get quick into tonight's revision. Just before I have a cup of tea. Have a little sip of a cup of tea. Right. So we're going to get started with our revision tonight. And I'm going to talk to you about things that are most likely to appear in hot deserts. Now, just be careful. If you're watching from another school, you may study cold or hot deserts. So you've got to be careful. You don't want to do revision for something that you are not expected to answer. So as you know, in this section, question 2, it is small-scale ecosystems. Most schools study freshwater ponds, like your garden pond. Then you've got large-scale ecosystems, which is tropical rainforest. Check out the previous video that we put together last week on rainforests. And then you've got either hot or cold deserts, and we study at our school hot deserts. So let's get ready for question 2. Let's zoom in a little bit. We're going to go for the middle of the paper at the top. But if you've got a little revision book with lines, that will be absolutely fine. So question 2 of paper 1. Or maybe you should put paper 1 as well. Paper 1. Question 2, and this is hot deserts is what we're going to look at today. In particular, we're going to look at the Thar Desert, which is our case study, and the exam date is the 13th of May 2026, and it's in the morning. Actually, it's in the morning. There you go. There you go. Hot deserts, paper 1. Question 2. We should do that in orange, actually, that little lining. Okay. So this does contain a 9-mark question because it's always at the end of this question 2. So what do you need to know for hot deserts? Well, we're not going to cover everything today, but these are the main areas. So you need to know the characteristics of hot deserts, such as their location. This might include location. This will include the climate. And it will include the soils. Okay, so they're the main things that you need to check off on your little revision list. Also in this section, you will need to know Plant and animal adaptations. Okay, we're going to have a little chat about that today. Plant and animal adaptations in hot deserts. There we go. That one is a really keen one. The examiners love this. It always comes up nearly every year, plants and animals. It's a very common one. Another area that you might need to cover is impacts of water insecurity or a lack of water. What we might also know as a drought. So you do need to know areas that are impacted by drought, and in particular, looking at the social and economic impacts of drought. Okay. Social, economic, and environmental, but mainly social and economic impacts. The one that we study is the Sahel region. The Sahel region in sub-Saharan Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa. Yeah, that's the one that we study, but just check what your case study might be. Then you also need to know for this section opportunities and challenges in a hot desert. Opportunities and challenges. This is the one that I think you are most likely to get in this year's exam. Opportunities and challenges of hot deserts. I think this one is the most likely, and ours is the Thar Desert. So our session today is going to be based on the Thar Desert. Okay, that's going to be our main focus. And then desertification. Desertification is the final one. This is where land becomes degraded by overgrazing, overcultivation, deforestation, human activity basically, and also climate change and drought, but it becomes degraded and it has a massive impact on areas, in particular the Sahel region of sub-Saharan Africa. So which ones do I think are most likely to appear in the 2026 paper one? I think you're more likely to get these three in the middle here. Okay, in particular, this one here about opportunities and challenges in hot deserts. So let's get off to a start. We're going to talk about plants and animals. So we're going to talk about the cactus. In the chat, guys, tell me how a cactus is adapted to surviving in a hot desert ecosystem. How are cacti adapted to living in a hot desert ecosystem? Give me the adaptation and a brief explanation in the chat. Hit us up right now. How is a cactus adapted to living in a hot desert ecosystem? Let me know what you've got going on. Okay, Fred. Well done, Fred. Yes, they are adapted in the way that they've got waxy skin to reduce evapotranspiration. Well done. They reduce moisture loss. So they reduce evapotranspiration. Good. What else have we got, guys? Also, deep roots. Yeah, to reach the water table. They reach the groundwater. Yeah, they're called tap roots because they're reaching out for water to get as much moisture from the ground as they can from groundwater. Good. Any other adaptations, guys? Just a bit of revision. What about the flowers or leaves or things like that? Anything else that we've got here? They have needles instead of leaves. Yeah, that is true. Why do they have needles instead of leaves? Why do they have needles instead of leaves, guys? What's the benefit of having needles instead of leaves? Reduces moisture loss. Okay, well done. So here we go. Quick recap of hot desert plants, cacti. So first of all, they're known as succulent plants. Succulent plants absorb and store water in their fleshy tissue. So they absorb as much water as they can. They can actually hold a third of their mass in water volume. So absolutely huge. They don't have leaves. They have needles. This is to protect them from predators, but also to reduce the loss of moisture and evapotranspiration. Needles have less evapotranspiration than leaves do, so that's a good thing. They often have flowers for pollination, really important to attract insects across the desert, so it can help them pollinate. They've got tap roots to get down to the groundwater, to anchor the cactus into the ground, which helps it to survive. They are low density vegetation, so they don't have many in a small area. They're spread out, because if there were so many close together, they wouldn't survive. There's too much competition. So they spread out so that there's plenty of space between them. Last but not least, they tend to have a short life cycle because of the amount of challenges living in a hot desert. They can tend to be ephemeral plants, so which means that they can die and live a short life because of the challenges of a lack of water. So there's a cactus. We do think the cactus may be on the exam. What about an animal? How is a camel adapted to surviving in a hot desert? Hit us up in the chat, guys. How is a camel adapted to surviving the hot desert environment? Do a little bit of revision on that one whilst I drink a cup of tea. Always. Not much left, actually, haven't I? Yeah, how is a camel adapted? Okay, so Fred's in there. Well done, Fred. They have a hump to store fat that gives them energy, slow release of energy as they travel over the hot desert. Well done. Stores fat in the hump to survive yeah. And they can also absorb water from that fat store as well, which is good. They have long eyelashes to keep sand out of their eyes. Correct. Well done, Fred. This is good stuff, guys. Some really good stuff here. What else have we got? They have, oh, Nikki. Good to see you, Nikki. Wide, flat feet to prevent them from sinking into the sand. Yeah, spread their weight across the sand. Well done, Nikki. Very good. Anything else? Camel adaptations. I'm just checking my little list here as well. You're doing very well. So these are the ones that I've got here as a bit of a reminder. They have a fat store on their humps. Well done, guys. They have 2 rows of eyelashes on the top lid and the bottom to prevent the sand from getting into their eyes in a sandstorm. They have a little slit of a nostril. Oh, someone just said it. Well done, Fred. Thin nostrils that can be closed to prevent sand blowing into their obviously into their nose and then into their lungs. Good one. Well done. What else we got? They lose, yeah. So they have very little moisture loss through urination, which is good. A lot of these have a very large, what is it called? Anyway, it's like not the intestine. I can't remember. Anyway, they have they urinate very little because they don't want to lose much moisture. They have little urination. Often animals are nocturnal, so they come out at night rather than the day. This doesn't apply to the camel, but it does apply to things like the kangaroo rat and to some extent the fennec fox as well. Okay, cool. Right, let's go on to our case study today, which is the Thar Desert. So here we go. Are you ready to do your notes? So we think in this year, we're going to get asked about opportunities and challenges of living in a hot desert, such as the Thar Desert. So let's have a look where the Thar Desert is. Then we'll have a look at the opportunities. Then we'll have a little look at the challenges. So let's draw a little map of, just bring you a bit closer, guys. Yeah, to set the scene. Draw a little map of India. And Pakistan. So it is in the Thar Desert. Let's just put in India. This is the Thar Desert, so we're going to label it up here. Put it in block capitals just so it stands out. There we go. That is the Thar Desert region. It is in northeast India. So let's just write that on there. Let's put it up here actually where it is the northeast. Sorry, northwest. Sorry, apologies. Northwest India. Sorry, guys. Northwest India. It's on this, yeah, Northwest India, up in this direction. It's in the border between Pakistan. So it borders between Pakistan and India. And it is in the Punjab region of India. It's around about 200 kilometer squared area of desert. We'll just mark out the desert region here. Yeah, 200 kilometers squared. So it's a very large desert in area in that region of northwest India. Let's just add a bit of colour just so it looks a bit nicer. Northwest India on the border between Pakistan and India. Right, just give you a few facts about this then. So the average temperature in this desert, average temp is 45 degrees Celsius across the year. Okay, so this is obviously a hot desert area. Couple of other little facts. It is the most densely populated desert in the world. So the most people live in this desert compared to the other deserts. Most deserts are sparsely populated. This one is the most densely populated desert. Yeah, most densely populated desert. And it has around about 100 millimeters of rain per year. So very little, 100 millimeters of precipitation per year. So obviously very, very low. Yeah. To be a desert, you have to have less than 250 millimeters. This is also half of that again, obviously with just 100 millimeters of rainfall per year. There's my little cloud, 100 millimeters of precipitation per year. So that's where it is. In the region of Rajasthan, up here, let me put Rajasthan as well, in this area, Rajasthan. It's in northwest India, borders the Pakistan border, and this is the area. It's 200 kilometers squared. It's the most densely populated desert, and it has a temperature of around 45 degrees. So the next thing I want to look at is the opportunities of this desert. So hit us up in the chat, guys. What are the opportunities of living in a hot desert? What resources might you have that make it beneficial to live or for the economy to work in a hot desert? I've just boxed that off there, guys. Look, you can see. Yeah. So now we're going to go down to here and write down some opportunities of hot desert areas. So today's question is focusing potentially on a 9 marker. Opportunities are the positives of social positives of living in a desert, economic positives. Maybe we can put a little positive there. So if it asks about opportunities, we talk about the positives of living in the Thar Desert. So we're going to have a little look at those. What have we got? We've got mineral extraction, so they can gain money. Well done. Tourism. Well done. Yeah, absolutely. Those two are correct answers. Well done, guys. Yeah, they are correct answers. Well done. Okay, any more? Any more? All right, let's have a little look then. So we're going to start with energy, first of all. Energy is a major positive of living in a hot desert. Energy supplies are very valuable. Obviously, you can export the energy as well, / trade, which can help grow your GDP. or your wealth of your country. Let's get a big money bag there. So not only can you use this energy for your own country, you could also export it to generate wealth for your country. So let's have a little look at energy supplies. In terms of coal and gas, they do have large coal and gas reserves in this region. Let's just draw a little piece of coal down there. Again, very valuable part of the economy that can be extracted. They do have very large coal and gas reserves. And they're calling this the new frontier for energy exports. So it's only been recently discovered, but it's very valuable. And they are now starting to mine for coal and extract oil, drill for oil, which then they can trade and sell, which obviously is really valuable on the markets at the moment, especially with what's going on in Iran. Energy is becoming more and more expensive due to conflicts such as that. So it's not just fossil fuel based energies. They also have renewables. So let's have a look at their renewable energies. We have the Jaisalmer. Jaisalmer is a beautiful city in the Thar Desert. The Jaisalmer Wind Park, okay, where they have wind energy, because deserts generally have high average wind speeds. So that's my little wind turbine there. There we go. That's what that is. It's a wind turbine. And it's India's largest wind turbine, can be found in Jaisalmer. Let's just highlight that word, Jaisalmer. Jaisalmer is a city in the Thar Desert. It's the main city. In fact, I will get a picture up and show you how beautiful this city is in a minute. But India's largest wind farm, because of the desert winds. Again, generating renewable, clean, green, and sustainable energy for its economy, which is fantastic. Yeah, anything to do with renewable energy, which is this, is really, really good. Yeah, maybe I should put here renewable and sustainable. Keywords: renewable and sustainable energy. Yeah, no emissions, green, clean. Let's get that into a little bubble. Their wind farm, the Jaisalmer wind farm. Let me try and find you a picture of that as well. Let's just nip on to Google so you can see it. The Jaisalmer wind park, it's called. It's India's largest wind farm. Let me just here we go. I'm just going to show you, just going to get rid of this and then add to stage. Oh, no. Let me just get another one actually. Stop screen share. Share, and it must be this one here, guys. Have a little look at this. There you go. That is Jaisalmer Wind Park. Yeah, renewable, sustainable, clean, green energy. The average winds here are way above the average for most parts of the world. Uninterrupted, unobstructed wind, and that generates a lot of energy that can be sold across India and exported around the world. That's pretty cool, isn't it? We like that. We like that. Okay, let me just go back to adding the map on here. Okay, and we're back. There we go. Jaisalmer wind farm. Right, we're going to have a little look also at another form of energy, which we're going to put up here, which obviously in hot deserts, you get a lot of sunlight or solar energy. There is a huge solar farm. Let me just check that you're on. Let me just make it bigger. There you go. We have a huge solar farm in the Thar Desert, and it's at the Baleri Bahaleri, huge solar farm. Is my moderator in the chat? Hopefully he is. Can you give me a fact about this wind farm, the solar wind farm at Bahaleri? That'd be really, really good. Just so we got some facts there as well. Okay, and we're using solar energy to create sustainable, renewable, clean, green energy within the Thar Desert. Okay, the solar radiation hits the photovoltaic cells, which then will generate electricity for the energy grid. That's our electricity symbol there. Hopefully, then our moderator can get me a little fact which we can add in here as well. I'm going to try and get a picture of this wind farm. Let's have a little look. The solar farm in Bahaleri. Here it is. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. This does look impressive, guys. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in a bit there. So, here we go. Let me just share this with you. Would tourism be a positive? Tourism is definitely a positive, yeah. Right. Hopefully our moderator is finding me a nice fact about the solar farm at Bahaleri. Nice geographical. There you go. It's Baleri. Let me show you a picture of this, guys. Have a look at this. I love this. So this is the solar farm at Bahaleri. In the Thar Desert, you can see in the background there is the desert region, and this is generating huge amounts of solar energy for the grid of India, and also for export if they've got additional energy that they can sell. So there we are. That's impressive. I think that's the first time I've actually seen a picture of it, which is pretty cool. So going back to our little piece of work, let's go back onto there. And here we are. Here we go. Right, so it's not just energy that are opportunities of the Thar Desert. We've also got lots of other opportunities of the Thar Desert. So let's carry on with our little journey whilst we're waiting for our facts and figures. The next one is mining. So there's plenty of minerals in hot deserts, especially rare earth minerals, which is very valuable. We know how much these are important to economies around the world, rare earth minerals. So what can we find in our mines in the Thar Desert? The people working there, that's my little mining pick. Maybe can draw like a diamond or something. Not that there isn't diamonds, by the way, but you get the idea. So what minerals can we find? We can find feldspar. It's a very valuable mineral. We can find limestone. In fact, we can find limestone in the Peak District, not too far away from us. But yeah, a very valuable stone that can be used. And we can find marble. Okay. These three in particular are used in the construction industry to build new buildings. So again, they're very valuable. Maybe I can just draw a crane or something that looks like it's building. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, construction industry. These are, again, exported around the world to build new buildings. Yeah, there's a little building there that's been built in our clip art. Let's have a little look. Oh, specifically, we got a fact. You are a good moderator. We really appreciate you being here. So specifically designed for desalination plants. Oh, right. So they power desalination plants. So that is where you can change salt water, seawater, into fresh water. So that's another opportunity. So used, so we'll put here, used to power desalination plants. Convert salt water into fresh water, which is even better. And they're creating 2,225 megawatts of power is generated. It's the 11th largest solar farm in the world. So we'll put the power rating on here. 2,225 megawatts of energy. And we're going to put 11th largest in the world solar farm in the world. Moderator, awesome job. Thank you very much. Typically, they only power up to 1,000 watts. A nuclear power station is 1,000 watts. So this is the same as, it's equivalent to 2 nuclear power stations. Wow. That's so good. Thanks for, I didn't even realize that. That's incredible. Solar energy. We need more. We need more solar energy. So efficient. Right. We've got our mining. So we've got feldspar, we've got limestone and marble used for construction industry. They also extract something called kaolin, which is used to make paper white. So this is obviously, paper is wood, but to make it white, you have to use something called kaolin. Kaolin, K-A-O-L-I-N. Sorry guys, let's zoom you in a bit more. Kaolin, which is used to make paper. Make it white. Okay, so that's a really good, again, use of minerals. So we've got our energy sector. We've got our energy sector. We've got our mining sector. Again, can we just have in the chat from the moderator, how many jobs are generated in the Thar Desert in total? Okay, from tourism, from mining, from energy. How many jobs are created from energy, tourism, and mining in the Thar Desert? That'd be interesting. Right. We've also got in the Thar Desert, let's move down a little bit further, more opportunities, more good stuff here. We've got agriculture and farming. Agriculture. Yeah, you can farm a desert. The soils are very fertile once irrigated. So if you irrigate them, they are very, very fertile. So in this case, oh no, just knocked me light a bit there. Sorry, guys. So believe it or not, the Thar Desert is a very important area for agriculture, for producing food. Agriculture is about producing food, and the main crops that they will grow are, let's just grow some crops here. There we go. Because the soils are fertile once watered. They tend to grow cash crops, so valuable crops that can be exported for quite a lot of money. They tend to grow wheat. They tend to grow cotton and maize. They're the main cash crops that the farmers will grow once the land is irrigated. And what we've got here is they've built irrigation channels, okay, to ensure that the crops get enough irrigation, water basically, to keep them growing. So that's our irrigation there that's going on. Let's put that. Crop irrigation, that means watering of the crops. And they've built something called the Indira, in the 1970s, the Indira Gandhi Canal, which is a artificial man-made canal that is used to go past the agricultural areas of the Thar Desert and is used for irrigation of the crops so they can grow food. And it's called the Indira Gandhi Canal. That there, guys, is really important. Yeah, it's a great opportunity. It's allowed to bring farming into the desert. It's greening areas of the desert because of the amount of water that it brings. There we go. And it's actually used for crop irrigation, which is fantastic. Right, the last one we want to do, opportunities, is tourism. And Nikki's already said tourism. Well done, Nikki. jobs from tourism. Okay, so put our tourism one in there. Hey, it's looking really good, this sheet, isn't it there, look? Yeah, so we're just going to use this bottom section here for tourism. Talk a little bit about tourists visiting the Thar Desert. In fact, I'm going to show you the fort, remind me. Excuse me. The fort is incredible. So tourism, they get approximately 1.5 million visitors per year as tourists. 1.5 million visitors per year go there. And in particular, they like to go on camel safari. There's my camel. I don't know what the heck that bit is. Yeah, there we go, guys. That's the best it's getting. So people that go on holiday here tend to go on a camel safari. That is a terrible camel, isn't it? Let's be honest. But when I'm in my exam, I'll remember that there's a terrible camel, and that will remind me that people like to go on camel safaris. They also like to buy souvenirs that have been made by the locals. So locals will create little arts and crafts. When this is a little local shop, it's like a little stand. Yeah. Excuse me. Locals sell souvenirs, which are homemade crafts. Yeah. And they will sell them to the tourists, which makes them money, which is good. Let's put some money in here. Yeah. There we go. It creates money, which then gives people a bit more wealth. They can then improve their lives. I've got an itchy nose, guys. You don't need to know that, though, do you? Right. So we've got money coming through safaris. We've got souvenir selling. The big thing here is we've got the multiplier effect. This is a great thing to mention in geography, the multiplier effect. Here we go. So this is a big one, guys, if you can get this one in. So what that means is it creates jobs through like tourism or mining. Jobs then create wealth. People have more money. And then the wealth then means more taxes are paid. And then it leads back round to government spending. So governments will spend more money, usually on schools and hospitals, and that will create jobs. And it's a great positive cycle. We love the multiplier effect. Jobs, wealth, taxes, more money for government, more investment by the government, and it improves the country. Yeah, whenever you're talking about economics, guys, get in the multiplier effect. So, opportunities. There are many. At first, you think, why would anybody want to live in a desert? Because it's so hot. Yeah, but when you look at it, look, there are lots of opportunities, especially in the Thar Desert, from energy production, wind energy, solar farming, mining, agriculture, and tourism. So, I'm just going to box off this little area here. And we're going to finish off by looking at the challenges. So, and then we're going to do a quiz. Oh, yes, it's nearly quiz time, guys. Stay tuned. Let me just go down here. There we go. Right, so now I've got this little area here for our challenges. So hit us up in the chat, guys. What is the challenges of living in the Thar Desert? What might be the challenges of living in the Thar Desert? This is what we think is possibly going to come up, as we say, in 2026 on the exam. So let's put a little title up here. Challenges in the Thar Desert. So these are the negatives. Yeah. So everything we're going to talk about now is either a social challenge, an economic challenge, or an environmental challenge. What have we got? Fred, extreme temperatures. Correct. Yeah, that's what we're going to start with. Very hot temperatures. Good. Cold at night. Yeah, it is quite. Water scarcity. Well done, Nikki. That's a great phrase. It means a lack of water available. Yeah, lack of water. Well done. Desertification, really good one. Yeah, especially in the Thar Desert as well. There is desertification going on in this particular region. Any others? Okay. Right, let's crack on and then we can hit the quiz. So the first one is extreme temperatures. Obviously, one of the main challenges is the high temperatures or the extreme temperatures, extreme temps. The temperatures in the Thar Desert can reach anything up to 50 plus degrees Celsius. It's not unusual to have a day or a week or a number of weeks actually now above 50 degrees each day. This is all linked to climate change. Obviously, with climate change, places that are hot are getting hotter on average as well. So they're seeing more days that are above 50 degrees. This is a massive problem for people who live or tourists that visit the Thar Desert. Let's have a little look at some medical issues linked to that. Could be sunstroke. Yeah, an illness that's linked to this. We got dehydration, people lacking water. Maybe linked to also rising skin cancer levels because of the exposure to UVA and UVB. And this has a huge impact on, if people are ill, it will have a huge impact on the economy. So people here miss work / school, yeah, which has a big impact on the economy if they're missing work, or a big impact on their education if they are missing school because of the temperatures, or schools might have to close early because of the extreme heat. They're missing out on learning as well, which is not good. For many people in this area, it is too hot to work. That's the guy who sat down. Too hot to work in certain months. In particular, from about June to September. Yeah. During the middle of the day, it makes it very difficult to work, especially in things like construction, outdoor work. Many people are unable to work. And again, that will affect the economy of the country just because it's too hot. So that's our first one, heat and health. Massive impacts on that one there. Right, let's have a look at water insecurity. That's what Nikki mentioned. Water insecurity, lack of water. Apart from the health-related things like dehydration and things we already mentioned, we are going to talk about a couple of others. So extreme temperature and then water insecurity. Right. So in the Thar Desert, it is mainly girls that go to collect, women and girls that go and collect water. There's a little girl with a bucket to go and collect water. So it's mainly girls that go and collect water. It's part of a cultural thing. Yeah, go with mum, but it's mainly girls that go and collect their water. So this is usually an issue of inequality. There's my little symbol for girls. There we go. So women and girls collect water. Women / girls collect water. Which then means that they are missing on no work. So they miss out on work, which affects the economy and also affects their wealth. So if they're not working, they don't have as much money as the men. And also, this means that girls miss out on education. So they're missing out on work and they're missing out on education, which is their future life chances. So what we tend to find here, guys, is we tend to find gender inequality. The girls are missing out on work and education because they are taking a significant amount of their day going and collecting water for the family. So that's going to highlight, that's a really good one to talk about, is gender inequality. Right, so we talked about water insecurity, we talked about temperatures. Let's go on to looking at, just finish on water. Many of the rivers here are seasonal, which means that they don't have water in them all year round. Many of the rivers actually do dry up, which is not great. This is a dried up river. So I'm going to put here seasonal rivers create water scarcity, a lack of water. And again, that is a huge impact on families if they're not able to irrigate their crops, to get water for drinking, to wash and to clean, hygiene, all that sort of stuff. And they're relying on seasonal rivers. Not good. Right, another one, another challenge of a hot desert is, let me just shuffle these pages up, is inaccessibility or isolation. So if somewhere is inaccessible, means it's very difficult to reach. But people sometimes in the Thar Desert might feel isolated or cut off, yeah, from certain parts. Jaisalmer is quite a major town, but many areas are very isolated. Many of the roads get blocked by sand. So here is a road. I'm going to block it with sand here. Yeah. During a sandstorm, many major roads get blocked. Yeah, which then affects trade and things like that. So roads are blocked in sandstorms, which then has an impact on trade, because you can't trade goods with other towns or other areas of the world if you've got your infrastructure blocked with sand. Impact on trade, which means that many people, businesses might lose money because they are not able to deliver. That's just a little pile of money there, because they're not able to deliver their goods. So that's that one. Last but not least, we're going to call it over-tourism is a challenge. And we already said that 1.5 million people visit. 1.5 million people visit the Thar Desert, but it does suffer over-tourism. That's because we've got some honeypot sites. And a honeypot is a place where lots of tourists will go. They get attracted like a bee to a honeypot. Let's just draw my bee in here. There we go. So they're called honeypot sites. There are two major honeypot sites in the Thar Desert. Honeypots are areas that are popular with tourists. Oh, I should also mention actually that this area of Jaisalmer, which is the port, is also a fort, is also a UNESCO site. So it's been recognized by the United Nations as culturally important. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So again, it's in all the tourism books, all the tour guides. And they are, because there's so much tourism, they're actually being damaged by the tourism. The first one is, it's in the Golden City of Jaisalmer, and it's the fort. I'm going to show you a picture of this. Jaisalmer fort. Beautiful fort. Jaisalmer, just make sure I spell it right. Fort. It's a castle. It's actually a living fort. People still live inside the fort. Okay. and it's in the golden city of Jaisalmer. And it's very popular with tourists, but it's actually so popular that the number of tourists is actually damaging the beauty and the heritage of this site, of this beautiful fort. Let me show you a picture of the fort, actually. You're going to be well impressed with this. It is absolutely stunning. Jaisalmer Fort. Let me find a picture. That one's pretty good there, actually. So let me just share this with you guys. Get rid of that one for a minute. Go into here. Stop share screen. This one here. Look at that, guys. Look at that. So it's a living fort. People live and work within the actual fort itself. And it's a beautiful, beautiful historical site protected by UNESCO, but it's being impacted by a significant number of tourists that visit this area as well. But yeah, it's a honeypot. You can actually see people in the background. I don't know if they're tourists or not. They look like tourists having pictures there at the top. So yeah, that is the Jaisalmer Fort. Look, complete guide, tourism guide. You can even see on the names of the photos how if people visit this area, they always go to the Jaisalmer Fort. Right, that's that one. Let me just go back to our work. We've got one more little bit to do, which is in this bottom left-hand corner. Here we go. Oh, well, let me put my work back on. Share screen. There you go, guys. Right, down in the bottom then, we're just going to talk about one other major tourist attraction, which is another beauty. I'm going to show you a picture of this as well. It's called the Gadisar Lake. Hopefully I pronounced that right. The Gadisar Lake, which is this beautiful kind of monument in the middle of this stunning lake in the desert. And again, it's very popular with tourists. It creates huge amounts of money. But again, around the site itself, it's been impacted by over tourism as well. So let me get a little picture of this one up, and then it's quiz time. Gadisar Lake. Oops. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh my God. Check this out, guys. Let me just get rid of that. This is stunning. Screen share. I want to go here. Look at that. This is Gadisar Lake. This is in the Thar Desert itself, and it just looks beautiful. The architecture, the heritage there as well, the old buildings. Yeah, it is stunning. The perfect place for social media, and that's why over tourism is happening as well. So that's kind of the main problem. Too many people wanting to go and visit impacts it from things like noise pollution, noise pollution, walking, footpath erosion, things like that. Right, there we go, guys. So they're the things we think are going to be on hot deserts in 2026. We've got a big feeling that opportunities and challenges of the Thar Desert is going to be there. So yeah, if you've enjoyed tonight's live stream, hit that like button, share and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. It really does help the channel. And look at that. Some fantastic revision there. Really good. Right, I think it's time for the Kahoot quiz. So if you're still in the chat, come and join us. Let me just click start on there. So let me get the Kahoot on. Stop ad and share screen. And you should be able to see that. Let me get rid of it there. There you go. So joining the quiz, it's all based on the Thar Desert. Hopefully you've learned lots about the opportunities and challenges of the Thar Desert here. Thanks for joining us. Next week, we will be looking at UK coasts, UK coastal geography, getting you ready for your exam again this summer coming up. This is the #1 place on YouTube every week where you can do some live revision ready for your exam. Yeah, jump on. If our moderator is still there, he can jump in as well, join the quiz. Thank you for joining us this evening. We do appreciate you being here as well. Any more for any more? Join us, join us. I think our live stream has been a little bit quieter tonight because of all the Year 11 exams as well. Okay, right, I think we're going to get started. So if you want to join us, the code will still be there. Here we go. Let's click start. Oh, I'm excited for this one. It's all based on the Thar Desert. Here we go. Where is the Thar Desert located? Where is the Thar Desert located? Join the quiz if you're just hopping onto the live stream. Well done. Yes, it is in northwest India and Pakistan. #2. What is the approximate size of the Thar Desert in kilometers squared? What is the approximate size of the Thar Desert? It is 200 kilometers squared. Well done, guys. Nikki's in. Thanks, Nikki, for joining us. You could be winning if you were in for the first one. Which of the following statements about the Thar Desert's population is true? Which one is true about the Thar Desert population? Well done. It is the most densely populated desert in the world. Yeah, it is. Right. Let's have a look what else we've got here. Question 4. What is the average annual rainfall in the Thar Desert? Average annual rainfall. Vote now. It is. Oh, wow, we're getting every question right. Well done, guys. You're doing really well. Keep it going. Which mineral is mined in the Thar Desert is primarily used in paper production? Which one makes paper a white colour in appearance? Which one makes our paper white? Well done. Kaolin. Fred is the fastest on the buzzer by the looks of it. #6. What makes Jaisalmer Wind Park a significant energy opportunity? What's so good about it? It is the largest wind farm in India. Ooh, we've separated the scores there. Okay, #7. Where is the major solar farm located in the Thar Desert? Where is the major solar farm located in the Thar Desert? I'm enjoying my cup of tea whilst I watch you answer these questions. Ooh, everything else is in Jaisalmer. But yeah, Bahaleri is the solar farm. Fred's got a little bit of a lead now. Well done, Fred. Which major infrastructure project provides water for irrigation and agriculture? This one is so important. Hopefully, remember the name of the source of water in the agricultural areas of the Thar Desert. What? Yes! Well done, guys. I'm well proud of you. Yeah, the Indira Gandhi Canal provides water for agriculture for the cash crops that can be grown. Oh, cash crops, but what crops? are grown here? Which crops are grown in the Thar Desert? Well done. Wheat, cotton, and maize. Fred is doing well. Approximately how many tourists visit the Thar Desert each year? Okay, correct. Well done, guys. 1.5 million. So we need Fred to mess up a little bit. Otherwise, it looks like he's going to win this. How does tourism economically benefit the local area? How does tourism benefit economically the local area? Correct. The multiplier effect is the correct answer. Well done, guys. Well impressed that you know the multiplier effect. What is the direct health impact of extreme temperatures? Which one are you most likely to become ill with during extreme sunstroke and dehydration? Correct. It looks like Fred's got this in the bag. Number 13. How does water insecurity in the Thar Desert contribute to gender inequality? I want to say a huge thank you to our moderator as well for joining us tonight. I do really appreciate everything you do for the live stream. 14. Why is transport accessibility a major challenge in the Thar Desert? Okay, yeah. Roads get blocked with sand, which impacts on trade and the economy of the country. Last question, number 15. Which city acts as a tourist honeypot for the following features? The fort and the lake. Which city? And it is Jalsamer. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think I am. Okay, number 3 is Nikki. Yeah, you could have maybe been first or second. You missed the first question. And Soph, well done, Soph. Thanks for dropping in today as well and joining us on the live stream. Hello to your family as well, if all your family are there. And Fred, you are this week's winner of the live stream. Well done to you. Right, let's go back to the... we'll go back to my camera. Where's my camera? I think that's it, guys. I think my camera's gone off as well now. I've unplugged everything and my camera's gone away. So we're going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight's live stream. We are back next week with our special on UK Coast. Hit that like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. And for now, keep up that geography revision and let's get ready for the summer exams 2026. Take care, guys. Thank you so much. Good night.